All right, guys, 10 days have passed from my last video, and I got a bit of a surprise for you. What do you think? I actually think that I really like my hair blonde. I know it doesn't look natural and it looks pretty out there and crazy, but there's something about it that gives me more of a fun look or an energetic look. I don't seem so intimidating and scary when I have some bleach blonde hair. Today is a very special day, and the reason for why the large time skip, because today is the 29th day and the day we begin our 4-mile-a-day challenge for the next 2 weeks. We have slowly been progressing in our resistance training. We went from 2 miles a day to 3 miles a day, and now we are at 4 miles a day. And I got to mark off the X. Feels good to slowly make our progress. There are also a few other changes that I made, most notably to the channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed that I removed a lot of my Bible commentary videos, and they're great and I love them and they were really fun to make. But I think I'm going to do a whole new approach with this channel. I really like the Bible commentary and I might go back to that in the future. But right now I want to focus on my biblical studies and reading the works of the saints, the writings of the doctors of the church, looking at early church fathers and their commentaries, and the desert fathers and their commentaries, to get a better understanding of what was the traditional way of teaching and where I can strengthen in my understanding of scripture and how I can teach it to others. For me, this was a really tough decision to make, but it ultimately came down to humility. Compared to the average person, I probably have a much greater depth of knowledge of the scriptures. I have a lot more training, and I'm probably more familiar with related texts or historical analysis and archaeological records of things like that. But I'm not at a place where I yet feel comfortable giving more in-depth teachings or focusing on what isn't important about scripture. I'm also pretty much well aware that this is probably going to kill my channel. I know a lot of you guys initially subscribed for my commentary and you really liked it and it helped open up the scriptures for you, but I'm gonna have to halt that for now while I work on my own studies and where I wanna go with this channel. You know, it would be nice to have a large following and to have people listening to me and respecting me, but that's not why I'm doing this, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I really just wanna move closer with God and do what I think the Father is calling me to do. Now, I'm not 100% certain what that is, and so that requires me to not worry too much about what I think is supposed to happen and what should happen, but just kind of going along for the ride and trusting in the Word. But ultimately, this is me asking you guys to be patient and to try to stick with the channel and leave comments and let me know how things are going. I still want you here with me. I still want you to learn with me and to move closer to the Lord. But right now, I'm just trying to put all my faith in God and not put any leanings into my own understanding if I can. I don't know, maybe this isn't the best call, but right now it seems to be. The jump from 3 miles to 4 miles is feeling pretty rough. I just finished my 3 miles and I have less than a mile left to go for my 4 miles, but I think I conditioned my body to get used to, like, once I start getting to 3 miles, it's over, I don't need to go anymore. That I'm really having to push myself mentally to keep going. I think once I get to the 5 or 6 mile a day range, I'm going to have to start breaking up these walks into 2 sessions per day. I think you could probably get to the point where you can do 10 miles straight, but it's just so boring that it makes it a lot harder than if I just broke this up into multiple sessions. I noticed that if I hold the camera like this, you can't tell that I have hair. It just looks like I'm balding, which is probably not a good sign. I mean, that's a lot of forehead, not gonna lie. I was prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago, Leviticus 13:40, brothers. So for those who have been following this channel, they know this is kind of like a natural progression of things. So they also know, like, my education history, my time at university, some of the things I'm not gonna go into detail about here. But most importantly, they know that I have, like, this really bad job where sometimes I help with digging ditches and whatever, laying down some, like, plumber pipe or whatever. And so this video is kind of a clickbait, but it's also a natural development of where things have been going. And this is also like an announcement. After some considerable deep reflection of what I want to do with my life, where I want to go, just how I want to just love God and move forward with everything, even at the cost of living a normal life or being in the world in a reasonable way. If I really want to be successful in this, to know God, to love him with all of my heart and all of my mind and all my soul, it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me a lot. both truly financially, but also, in every other way as well. And so this is kind of like my promise that I've decided to quit my job, to kind of quit everything else and to focus on God full time. And that means also for this channel, you're going to see a lot more activity on this channel and some, editing and some cool stuff. But this is just going to be my focus now. And we'll see how well it goes. We'll see what happens. And I think this was kind of a long time coming. A lot of people who knew me kind of saw this. They kind of knew I was on this path. And I'm in a position right now where I don't have to worry about things. I don't have to worry about money. I don't have to worry about, my next meal. Things are going to be okay regardless. And even if they're not, even if I go back to being homeless, I would rather that happen than to get distracted again. And I think no matter what, as long as I have a pure and simple love, the Lord's going to provide.